Okay, hello everyone. It is Tuesday, and I am coming to you live, not so much live today, actually coming from a recorded Zoom call. I am Nancy Yawner with Love to List and Keller Williams Realty. And on the first Tuesday of every month, I do a pre-recording versus a live because I belong to this amazing women's power collective group, and it just so happens that we meet the first Tuesday of the month, and I wanted to be able to do both. And so I record the first Tuesday of the month, and then I go live the rest of the month as consistently as I can. Sometimes things do come up. Speaking of coming up, this is actually our last from the heart of the home pre-recording of the year and live because I am taking the rest of the month off due to the fact that I am moving. And a lot of you are aware of that. And I've talked a lot about it. And so I have a lot on my plate in the next 30 days. We will be relocating. But I am so excited to have this opportunity to do a little interview with Jacob Ferguson, who actually happens to be my grandson. He's grandson number two out of four. Well, grandchild, because there's three boys and a girl. Anyways, Jacob is a really special young man. He is interested in real estate. And so I wanted to have him come on and share with us because I see Jacob as being part of this next generation of potential realtors, realtor mogul, investor, someone who wants to serve potentially our community, our clients. So, lots in store for Jacob, whatever he wants to do. And he's already gotten himself into real estate in an interesting way, which we'll talk a little bit about. But Jacob, tell me a little bit about yourself before I ask you a few interview questions.
hmm Well, as you just said, I'm Jacob, and I'm trying to get into real estate. Earlier this year, I graduated from high school because high school wasn't school just needs to end at some point for everyone, and it was my time to get out of school. And after that, I started learning about real estate and getting into it, reading a bunch of real estate books, reading a bunch of other self-help books, finance books, everything I can find. I read it, I devoured it, and stored it up here. And after that, I've also been working on discovering quite a few new hobbies for myself and working on my hobbies. I really am into cars. I have a nice 40-year-old car in my garage that I'm working on right now,
What
and
kind of a car is it, Jacob?
a 1986 300ZX.
Oh,
So
wow.
a Japanese car. So it's very nice.
And what color is it?
Red.
I know I've seen you driving it. That is a fun car, right?
Oh yeah, it's a ton of fun to drive, and I really hope I can restore it to how it deserves to be.
Oh, that is so great. So you like to read, you like to work on cars, and you live in Northern Virginia,
Mhm.
and you also are interested, you like to ski.
Oh yeah, I love skiing. It's over the winter, it's just like, there's so much snow around, you got to do something. And skiing is just, I like working out as well. And skiing is a very physical activity. It's a ton of fun. It's nice just being on the mountain, on the slope and feeling like you're fully in charge of all your decisions that can affect your entire, I guess it could affect your entire life if you think about it like that. Because anything can happen on a ski slope, but you can just do whatever you want. You can do tricks, you can really work on the form. It's really a place just to be free and kind of be yourself and carve that into the mountain.
Well, that's a wonderful analogy. I really like that, Jacob. You're out there on the mountain and it's up to you what you do on that mountain and to kind of have a successful ski ride and fun ride. And so you can kind of like relate it to life. And I know you're not big into team sports. You're more into like your individual, performance. Like you like to challenge yourself, and whether it's your reading, your working out, your skiing, and you have this entrepreneurial spirit. So let's talk a little bit about that. So I know after you graduated and you did a little unconventionally, you came to your parents and decided you just were ready to go, and you went ahead and you graduated early, and then you ended up with an internship
Yeah.
and at Champion Title. So tell
Mhm.
us a little bit about that, maybe a couple things that you learned at that internship.
Yeah, so champion interning at Champion Title, I did it was over the summer and it wasn't my first job, but it's I feel like the one I learned the most at. Going into it, I didn't really know too much about what I knew a little bit about what a title company did, but I didn't know enough to give a full analysis on it. And I went into it and I learned all about reading contracts, all the not all the little small things, but quite a few of the small things that matter to the title company that make life easier for them. And I learned a lot about what a title company is supposed to do and all the processes that are involved in that side of real estate.
Right. And I think that was a good place for you to start because settlement company is kind of like the hub,
Yeah.
right? Like the lenders communicate with them and the realtors communicate with them. And it's such an important aspect of our real estate transaction, especially having a positive, successful one. You really need to be with a good title company. So I was so glad that you had that experience. So you did that, and I know you've interviewed a couple people in our industry, whether it's a lender or property manager, and and we've talked real estate. As as you did the internship and then you've interviewed these people, what are a couple takeaways that you have from those conversations that you've had and experiences that you've had over the summer?
Mhm. Well, I've really learned or realized that what you put into the business is what you get out of it. It's entire sales, at least on the real estate side, on the agent side, is everything. If you don't give it your everything, you're not going to get anything out of it. You have to really care about the business and want to be in it. And I think that's a pretty important takeaway. And I've also learned just how much effort and time is required to build the business to where you want it to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in terms of real estate, so what interests you so much about real estate?
Well, I mean, my grandma is obviously in real estate, and my other grandma is also in real estate. So it's kind of been around me my whole life, and it's
Yeah.
always something I've been aware of and I've known about. It's just I never really decided to look too deeply into it until more recently. And looking into it, I realized, like I mentioned a second ago, it's sales, and what you put in is what you get out of it. And I personally, when I interned at MBA or Champion, I didn't really like working behind a desk, and I just felt suffocate. It just felt suffocating. And sales is what you put in. It's on the field, and whatever you do on the field directly affects your your career.
Well, I totally agree with that. I mean, I've told people in my office my entire career that, I wake up every morning unemployed. And it's really up to me to create the business, right? And go out and after the business. And I know that you, after the new year, you're planning on taking the real estate class and
Mhm.
getting your real estate license, right?
That's the plan. That's the
That's the
hope.
plan. That's the plan. Well, I am so happy for you, Jacob. And we never know what the future is going to hold, right? But like that mountain, skiing down that mountain, right? You're kind of creating your own path. And I sure hope that we get to work together. I think that would be so special and so fun. I know I have a lot of transition going on, but I continue to want to work in the Northern Virginia area. I'll be commuting back and forth, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where your real estate career takes you. And, it would be so fun to synergize. It'd be nice to have the older generation and the younger generation. And, that's what one thing I've learned, Jacob, is over the years that I've helped so many families. I'm helping grandparents, parents, kids, and grandkids now. And, it's the building of the relationships has just been so fun and so special. And the connections have been so great. And from what I see, Jacob, you've got the whole world is at your disposal. And I think you're just going to do great. And I appreciate you coming on my last Zoom call live for 2025. What a great way to end the year here at Love to List. And we'll look forward to seeing more of you and in the future. And thank you so much, Jacob, for being on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me, Nia. It was a ton of fun.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I always sign off by thumbs up, lots of love, and keep smiling. Okay? Take care.
You too.
All right.